So who did you meet first, Spike Lee or?
The Coens I knew from Frances McDormand because I went to Yale Drama School with Fran. My wife, Catherine Borowitz, and Fran and I were all friends. And Fran played my daughter in some play. And I've always liked Fran a lot. Fran is someone who I really feel has gotten better as an actor. Even in school, she was really like a very hard-working person. And she's gotten, better and better. So we were friends first, and they saw me do a lot of plays, and then they saw me do this movie Five Corners, and a few other movies too, To Live and Die in L.A., Sicilian, but then they wrote Miller's Crossing for me. And
They wrote it for?
For me, yeah, they wrote that for me, and they wrote Barton Fink for me too, yeah.
Did you know they were going to write those for you?
No, they said they were writing a part for me.
Yeah.
And and then in the middle of it, they got writer's block, and then they wrote Barton Fink in the middle of Miller's Crossing because they had writer's block, and then they went back to Miller's Crossing, and so I didn't even know, about, what it was going to be.
Because he's a kind of heinous character, your character in Miller's Crossing, isn't he?
Well, it was kind of like playing the devil or something, almost, It was really well written, so I had a lot of fun preparing for it and stuff, and when someone does that. Then I met Spike. I met Spike before I did Miller's Crossing because he saw Five Corners. But I knew I was going to do a Miller's Crossing, eventually. And then Spike saw the movie, and then we became. He asked me to do the right thing, and so those have been two, big collaborations. And I've had other relationships with people. I've never gotten a chance to work with them again, either with Rosie or Redford or Peter Weir or Allison Anders and Tom DiCillo I've worked with, who I liked working with, even though we argued a lot, but I think he's a good director. And there's some people you'd love to work with again, but you don't always get the opportunity. So you can't sit around, waiting for that.
So how come you had the opportunity to make something like 8 films with Spike Lee and quite a number with the Coen?
Well, a lot of the movies I've made with Spike, I've done a lot of cameos for him. I've really made like 4 movies where I've had really big roles, and everything else I did, because I'm his friend, he's always asking me, could you do this little thing and that, and it's hard for me to say no to him. So Coen Brothers, I've had 4 real, roles, and because they're, my age or they're prolific, I don't know.
So when you look back on Do the Right Thing, what do you think?
I think it was an interesting movie. I think it's a good movie. I think especially the energy of it, the comedy of it especially. I think there was something very exciting about making that movie, and it translated onto the screen. I really did. I think Jungle Fever has some great things too. It's not as unified maybe as that, but I also felt, that was a really good collaboration we had on that one.